journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, this is the chart of silver over the last 3 weeks. As you can see here, we made some type of an ABCD pattern up there at 5,200. Let's try it again, Larry, $52 an ounce. And then you can notice here that we dropped $20,000 here last night. We went from 52 down to 48. That's a $20,000 move. And it happened before. Look at this. It did exactly what it did before. So this is telling you there's nothing wrong with this thing. I mean, just because it had this, they're talking about a silver squeeze in London, because London silver is $2 an ounce more than we are here. Why that is, I don't know. I've never seen it before. It's the same silver, but that's what we're watching here. Now let's go back to the stock market, because we had some earnings today. I've got several really interesting things to tell you. I can get rid of this Canadian dollar one because we've talked about that, but let's look at let's look at this one right here. This is Goldman Sachs. Now, we had Goldman Sachs come out with absolutely spectacular earnings and everything, and the stock gap down. Look at this, folks. You see the double ABCDs down here at this 750 level. The low is 744, and that's where it is. Look where we rallied so far, folks. That's part of the reasons why the Dow has gone from minus 600 to plus 315. That's $1,000 move today, folks. That's a big deal. And you can see here we're rallying quite a bit here in this market right now. And who knows, but you can see the multiple ABCD patterns in this. And when you gap down like that and it starts to rally, this is when it all started, folks. So that's what we were looking at when we were watching this. Now, the leader of the pack had been the weak sister, and that was the Russell. But look at the Russell today. You can see the Russell today. There was our low right at the 50% level, hit it twice, middle of the night, and then again right on the open. And there she goes right up here, taking out all these highs, folks. Taking out all the highs up in here and getting everybody back to bullish, I guess. So maybe that's the right way to be, but we'll have to wait and see as we watch through this. Now let's look at the Dow Jones here. Let's get up here and we'll look at the S&Ps, the one I wanted to show you, because that's what had the really nice pattern right here. You can see we matched the low right here. There was the ABCD 3 drive to a bottom pattern right there. Okay, there was our previous high right back here at the 60. No, it's a little farther back. This one right here was a 60.12. So what we've done so far from that high that we made back here on the 8th, just a couple days ago, what we're doing now is we're right up to the almost exact 61% retracement here at 67.26. And that's all we're seeing now, folks. There's a lot of chopping around, making up their mind, what it's going to do. And I'll be the first to know that I figured it out, but frankly, I'm still learning like everybody else. Okay, now let's move over and talk just a tiny bit here about the NASDAQ. I don't look at it very much, but it's been the leader, and I just wanted to show you we had the same pattern in the NASDAQ that we had with everything else. There was your 3 drive to a bottom pattern right there. There's drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, right on the money. And then you can see we've had this tremendous rally of 500 NASDAQ points. It went from minus $500 to where we are right now. Now, all we're doing so far is we've just made a 78% retracement of the previous day's high, whereas the others have been strong. You can see what the Russell did. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones. And that was another one that looked absolutely incredibly because of what was happening with Goldman Sachs. It didn't look like there's going to be any way they're going to keep that market down 400 and some points. And you can see what we've done here in the NASDAQ or in the S&P. Try it again. We actually matched this low here, almost to the exact tick. This was a little bit too bizarre, but there's your 3 drive right there. Drive 1, drive 2. Let's just draw it in, see if folks can see it real easily. There's your, this thing drives. It's so sensitive. Just hold on, let me get this up here so that I can draw it in. Maybe I can catch the bottom like it should. There we go. Oh, come on, John. John sent a file, but I have to get it a little bit later. Hold on just a second. There's where we are right now. Oh, all right, I'm going to give up. There's drive 1, there's drive 2, there's drive 3, and look where we are now. We're rallying back, and we are almost exactly at the 60% level of the whole move from way back here, folks. There's where it is right there. We're within a heartbeat of that, and that comes in at about another 100 points or so, right around 76.70. We get above here, folks. I guess you just got to throw in and take the towel, and we sold this thing at 47. Oh, let's get the 4-hour chart. Hold on just a second here. Let's get this up here, get the hourly chart. Hold on just a second. There's the hourly. We sold, I got to spread it up here. Wow, it's got too much stuff. We sold it here. All this stuff is old, and let's just clean it out so we'll see where we are right now. There's where we sold it right up here, okay? That was the right thing to do. We did recommend some covering down in here, and then, of course, we got back in it, and here's where we are right now. You can see we got some lower tops in here, but as I mentioned, we'll just draw it in right now, and there it is right now. You can see we're almost to the 61% retracement. If we start getting above here, folks, you can't be bearish. That's all I can tell you. About 900. You get another 300 points higher, and I got to throw in my chart pencil and do something else. That's what I'm going to have to do, because when you can't catch these bottoms, and I can't do that because I can't do it in the middle of the morning or anything, because there's no way I can get the videos out in time to see anything like that. Okay, now let's do something on a constructive note here, and let's take a look at how to really take advantage of the things that we always talk about, which is the old 382 in the cattle, okay, or anything. Okay, here's the 382. This is a small range in cattle. This is yesterday's action. There's Friday, today, and there's we are today. There's your 382 pattern right here, okay? Now, I want you to, I'm going to try to, well, I can't do it all, but I'll get it there. So where we go. There's your first one right here. You have another one right here. Okay, now look at this. This goes absolutely right there after the opening market. The market opens here and comes down all morning, okay, for an hour, right after the open. And I want to show you there's where it was. Hold on just a second, get that thing there. There's your exact 382 right there at 244.90, and it just takes off and runs up $180, $600, and then it's still going higher. So that's what you want to try to do, either up or down, and that's what you're watching. Because if you're looking at this right now, you can see that you do have another ABCD pattern that's formed from this one right here down to that one right there, and you're coming into it just about right there, and there it is, right about where it's trading right now. My guess is we're probably going to get 24730 would be my guess, but we're right in this area where some type of a top will probably occur. But that's what this is what you, we have to do that one. Hold on just a second, I forgot to do the main one.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN. educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at the gold market here over the last couple of weeks. As you know, it's been going, ballistic to the upside. And we figured that we might get to 4,200 based on this 100-point drop that we had here on the 9th. That was on Thursday. And then, of course, the market has continued to go higher. Even the break that we had this morning, folks, that was not much of a break. It dropped about $85, which is $85 is still 8,500. But if you look at it from the point of view of a 61% retracement or 382, you can see that the low was exactly 382 right there. That was exactly the 382. And what has it led to? This little Gartley that we had right up in here. Now, whether this is a major high or not, I can't really tell you that because no one knows that except God. And she doesn't trade very much. She doesn't need to. She has everything. Okay, anyway, that's what we're watching here with this. Now, one of the reasons that I watch the silver is because I have Bloomberg on all the time, and they're talking about silver being $2 an ounce higher over in London because there's a short squeeze going on. So let me get the silver chart back up. Hold on one second, and I'll pull it up because it has a real interesting long-term pattern. We'll get that. There's your shorter term. Okay, here's where we are right now as of today. You can see we made that target just like we missed it a little bit. I don't know if we missed it or not in the gold, but it came within $10. But this one went above it by a little bit. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the weekly chart, and then we're going to take a trip across the pond over there to Hong Kong, because back in, get this and take a look at it. This is a weekly. We're going to come over here. And so this is where the high was in silver back here. Okay, now we've exceeded that, as you can see that, correct? So what I did, when I looked at this, there's your A leg, there's your B leg, there's your C leg, there's your D leg at 52,364. And the high today was, are you ready? 52.49. It went 10 cents higher than that. Now it's $2 lower. That could be the possibility that we're looking at a ABCD on a longer term chart. Let's look at this on the monthly, and maybe we can, well, there it is again. There's your same number that we're watching. Here's the same move there. Here, let's just do it again. By golly, you can see it on the monthly. This is why I got to be telling you, I wouldn't want to be long silver up in here. And there's that number right there. Where is it at? There it is right there, 244. And that's been hit. And this is where we are right now. So I'd be really careful up in here to buy some silver. But we'll, like I say, often in doubt, or often wrong, but never in doubt. There's what we're doing so far today. We had a 61 down to the 786, back up to 61, not really doing it. All I do know is when the market does turn in silver and gold, you think it was violent on the way up, it'll be more violent on the way down. And the reason for that is, fear is a greater emotion than greed. And that's what makes the difference, okay? So that's what we're watching here as we're going through this one right here. Now let's get over to the Treasury bonds, because we had a beautiful setup in Treasury bonds. I talked about it in the video yesterday. I missed this one, folks. This should have been a layup of layups, because had everything that you could ask for right there. Let me get this up here so we can see it clearly. I'm going to get rid of these lines because most of you, I see them clearly, but there's what I want to show you. There's your cycle low. There's your cycle low. Here's your cycle low. Look at, there's your beautiful 382 coming in off that low right there. And as you can see, 50% of this low right here. And there's two numbers. You got an ABCD plus two major ratios. And look at the nice move that it had all the way up to this level right here. Now we started to back off a little bit, and it equals to this one. Let's just see, because it's doing the same thing that it usually does. It dropped, the last drop was like this. Let's just see if this matched it. Yep. So that means it's going to be another 382 off of another low. So we'll take this low right here, and there's your 382 coming in here. So that's why the support stopped right at that point. This looks relatively bullish. Now, I thought that this would be a possibility of a real explosive move, maybe a flight to quality. Well, the flight to quality was in the stock market, because that's what everybody wants, and that's what they're getting. So you have to, when they come to the table, you got to go with what they're going to feed you, and that's what they're doing. And here we're almost at the 61% now, folks, in the YM. There it is right now, up another 6684, so another 30 points. I'm going to put the beeper on, because when we hit that level right there, folks, look at this move. That's 1,000 points right there. 1,000 points. Just like it was 1,200 down, now it's 1,000 up. Looking at a double bottom right in here this morning, and looking at it on a really short-term time frame like we were doing, you had that beautiful 3 drive. You can see it right there. There's drive 1. Drive 2, drive 3. There it is. There's your ABCD measuring absolutely right on the money. You'll see there's your AB, there's your CD. But don't tell anybody about this, folks. Well, you can go ahead and tell, because it doesn't work all the time. But there it is right there, right on the bottom, and then boom, away it goes to the upside. So that's what we're watching. And we're still going, you can see we're real close. And it's been straight up, folks. There hasn't been a correction, no 382, anything. Just boom, 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 boom. And there it is right now. We've gone from 900 points, from 600 lower to 363 higher. So that's what we're paying attention to here today. Now, on a daily basis, we'll just go back and look at that 4 hour again. There's where we are now. If we start getting above here, folks, in fact, our first sign will be above the 618, but it has to get above that first. If we get above here, I would have to say, if we get above here, then we got to say, we're going to have to resume or take our short side off and look at it a little different. But all this is rectifying all of that. That's all it is. This is just correcting it. That's really basically what it is when we're watching it. Okay. All right. Now let's take a quick look here at the, I'll cover the stocks that people have asked me about the break, but we've hit, we've got to almost let me get rid of this thing right now. We just hit the number, and the Dow Jones is just making just now. Let's just watch it happen, and we'll come back and get this later. There it is. See, we're right there within a heartbeat. I got it a little bit too early, but it's almost there right now. Yeah, well, it is basically there right now. So there it is, just hitting it there. So we'll see, probably go through it pretty quickly, but that's what we're paying attention to here. See if these numbers work. It worked really good here. It might not work here, but that's your 61% retracement on the whole thing. Very, very close. If you do that trade, you certainly don't have to risk more than 100 points would be the most you'd have to risk. But there's two things wrong with that trade. One of which is you're so far above the opening price, the odds of that thing winning are reduced just because you're so far above the opening price. But you can still take it, okay, because you can put a stop in, and that's what it is. We've got 10 more pips and we're right there, so we're almost hit it exactly. If in fact it's going to hit it exactly, that we don't know. All right, and so let's get over and take a look at the stop and P and see what it's doing at time. I'll take care of this crude oil in just a second here, but I think we got a break coming up here. Let's double check, see where we are. 38 seconds. Okay, we'll cover this. I have to do this in time because we've reached. We did hit the 57 handle, folks. That's one of the things we were watching. We haven't done very much there, but that's it. We'll cover that when we come back. Okay, stay tuned.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have PT Webb in the house. Paula, how are you doing?
Woo woo! Yeah, I'm in the house, baby. What's going on, Larry?
Paul, I have a question. I have a personal question to ask you. I know you're deputy sheriff, chaplain, and everything, but how do you handle all that stuff, the stress stuff that goes along with that when you're trading? Can you categorize it and put it in a different shelf, or how do you do that?
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of it is just experience. I've been a ordained minister for 25 years. Larry, you were there at my ordination. And
you married me. I remember that. Married Sarah and I. That's correct.
Yeah. So, it's just from experience. And traders today don't think that they're going to experience stress because they're just using a personal device, whether it's their phone or a notepad or their computer or whatever. And so there's that disconnect to their money until they have a big drawdown. And then they want to go back and say, oh, what did I do wrong? And why am I repeating these actions? Because they haven't learned from anything that they've experienced or anything that they have done inappropriately in terms of their trading. So when I'm out in the field with the sheriff's department, 99% of the time, I'm just listening and paying attention. And that's how you build a resource of not having anything negative affect you, because you're listening and you're observing. And that's what traders have to learn how to do. They need to observe market movement. They need to watch what their reactions are to market movement and write all that down. You have to keep a workbook, which we're just about ready to publish later this week, the Disciplined Trader Daily Workbook, because we're finding more and more traders, because everything's so electronic, that there is a complete disconnect to managing what they're even thinking. And they don't even know what they're thinking or why they're reacting to market movement. So it's no different than anybody in law enforcement or a first responder, anybody who's there in critical events, because every day we are experiencing critical events trading. Now, that doesn't mean you're having a big drawdown every day. It just means that we go into battle every day with the markets, not against the markets, but with the markets to be able to take as much profit as we can. But we can't take that amount of profit if we're not 100% in sync with what our goals are, and allow our emotions to override that. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
yes, it does. It does.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a lot of self-reflection. You can't react. You have to think and learn how to think for yourself. And this is what I teach traders. It's no different than any other job. You would, like if you were an engineer, you were given a task to create a program, let's say a trading program. You wouldn't just put anything together. You would say, okay, well, what are the parameters? What are the goals? Mm-hmm. What do we want to achieve with this program? And it's the same approach you have to have with your own trading. What is it that you want to achieve realistically, based on who you are right now? Not tomorrow, not next week or next year, but right now. What can you accomplish right now? And you have to believe in that and then follow through.
Yep, you got to believe in yourself and also the system that you're using too. Otherwise, you're out there flailing along and you'll always have problems.
Right. Yeah, so that's kind of, that's what I teach traders. You have to stop reacting and start paying attention.
Yeah, because what people don't understand is paying attention is because we're speculators, and the word speculator in Spanish means to observe, I believe, something like that is what speculare means, to observe. Mark taught me that. And so that's what I remember that very vividly when you talked to me that day many, many years ago. So anyway, listen, what else do you have? Anything else you would like to talk about?
Just, like I said the other week, guys got to be careful out there. We don't know what's going to happen forward, especially with gold. We had a little dip, obviously, and, so I don't want anybody to start panicking. It's just that, this is This is just where we're at. We're in interesting times with the markets. And this is
Indeed
why
we are. That's just for sure.
Yeah, and this is why personal observation, self-reflection is really critical right now, because we have to stay on top of our game. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what you're thinking or why, then you're just going to react, and then you're going to have drawdowns repeatedly. You'll be consistent at drawdowns instead of profit taking.
I was watching Bloomberg this morning, and Paul Tudor Jones was on. And of course, I really respect him. I've known him since he was first started in this business back in the 80s. And he's 71 now. I can't believe it. Anyway, he said, I really don't know what to do. He said, on one side of the coin, we've made a lot of money, doing Bitcoin and all this other stuff. But now, he said, I'm nervous. And he said, my friends are nervous. And he said, they don't know what to do either. And then the guy said, what are you going to do? He says, I'm not going to do anything until I see what I need to do. And so that was probably a good way of looking at what he had to do. So he had a good way of answering the question, and he told you what his methodology is going to be.
Right. Yeah. I mean, traders out there listening, you gotta take it from the pros. I mean, Paul Tudor Jones has been around. I mean, Mark and I coached him way back when he had his first office in New York City, and a group of brokers there that needed some help, and they were good. They were really good at what they did, and they got better because of our materials. But the point is, you've been around long enough. He's been around long enough. I've been around long enough. Although I'm not going to say how long, but anyway, to all you traders out there, you gotta figure we have not been in this industry this long without having proven methodologies. Okay, so all of our materials, yours, Larry's, every all the greats, it's empirically proven, and so what we teach is you can have the same type of positive results if you know yourself and if you believe in yourself, and not keep jumping the gun, or I'm going to go try this guy now, I'm going to go try that guy now, I'm going to subscribe to this, I'm going to subscribe to that. You can't be all over the place. You can't multitask. You got to be focused and have your attention just on taking profit by having a goal or a set of goals.
Yep. That's correct.
So
listen, thanks for joining us. Get that book out. People are waiting for it.
I know. I'm working on it right now.
All right. Thanks, Paula.
All right. Thanks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, so we're back at the Dow Jones here. We just made the number. It actually backed off about 80 points from that high. It got down to 10. If you'd been smart, you could have taken enough money for lunch, would have been about $300, but we're back above it right now. We're setting here right at the 61% retracement now. What I think the market is waiting on is this old cowboy right up here, and that is the 61% retracement on the S&P, and we're not very far. That's at 26. That's up another 12 points. Now, remember, when you're trading the Dow Jones, folks, you're trading 20 stocks that are triple weighted. Okay, and when you've got one of them, like Goldman Sachs, that is, leading the pack all the way. Let's get that Goldman Sachs chart up and to see what I'm talking about, because it's at 800 pound. That's like it's $800. That's like a stock that's $100 in the Dow Jones. Goldman Sachs has 8 times the power. And you can see here, it's still going. That's why we're seeing the run. There it is again. That's why we're going to go above it, because it's already ran. Look at this. We've already up 42 points. And that's a 42-point handle on a number that's 782. And that's why the Dow Jones is moving up as fast as it is. You can see where we are right now. It's already through the 382 and already almost at the 50%. That means that chart that we're looking at here will probably be really difficult. Well, it's already difficult because I see it's trading at 67.13. There it is. You can see we've already popped through it just because of that. That's mainly Goldman Sachs. So that's why you got to pay attention to it. So that's what we're seeing as we watch this thing moving right now. We're almost ready to make a new high here in the Russell, folks. I mean, this is how bifurcated this is. I mean, you can see the Russell is almost there. Look, their old high back here was this one right here. 25.18 was the old high, and that's the 1.618 of this range right here. So we could eat where we're 3 points away. That's nothing. Look at this on the daily chart, and you'll see what I mean. We're right back there. There it is. Oh, see, this is when you want to cover right down in here, folks. This is known as a bad tick. I'm going to try to refresh this, but I don't think it'll make much difference. No, it's a bad tick. I have to redo that later a little bit. I'm going to delete that to get it out of the way here. But you'll see here we're back to the new highs right here, right there. And there, 1.618 takes you up to 25.54. We could easily get there. So it still looks bullish. That's all I can tell you. All right, now you can get this out of the way here. And let's talk about, we've already talked about Tesla. I've been asked several times to take a look at the Hong Kong index because, let's get the daily up on this because it's had some the Chinese market and the Hong Kong markets have been hit really badly. And you can see here, even today, all it's been able to do is to come up and make a 382 I think that's what it is. Yeah, there it is. There it was this morning, and now you can see it's coming down. All right. Now, let me do one with the German DAX. Okay, hold on one second here, because that's another. There it is right here, and I'm going to bring that up here just a second, and you see the same thing happen with the German DAX. There was our 382 yesterday. Okay, now the market's come down. As you can see, this is an hourly chart. There was a 382 yesterday. The ABCD on that would measure, you can see right there, measured right down in here. So it's got more to go to the downside. But look at the action today. What you want to do is, if you believe in the 382 and you believe in these patterns, and this is Tom Hugard's favorite thing to trade, and there's, you got to go to the high right back here, because you've got a new low. So that means you got to do the mathematics behind it. So the new 382 is going to be right about there, and we're almost there right now. Okay, so that's what we're paying attention to. So it is, as Basil says, it's a bifurcated market, but mainly with the Goldman Sachs doing what it does, it's affecting the Dow Jones a great deal, because it's an $800 gorilla in the cage with a lot of stuff that, is under $100. They don't even count those anymore. It's not too much. By the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but during 1929, there were 30 stocks in the Dow in 1929 in September. When we got to 1932, 16 of the 30 went bankrupt. American Telephone, you know how important telephones were back then? American Telephone went bankrupt twice during that time. So there were some weird times going on back in those days. And I think weird is coming our way, but it's not coming today. Let's get this out of the way here. And we want to, I'll just leave it there for just a second here. We want to talk about the Chinese market. Hold on one second, because it's also under a great deal of pressure. And there you can see what's happened to the Chinese market here just recently, having the big drop, and then we're having a little bit of a bounce here today, but it's already started to move down. That was the 618 on the long-term weekly, folks. I always show this on the weekly basis because it had so many of those nice patterns up there. This is why it has some weakness coming in, is my opinion. But again, that's my opinion, and don't know whether it's going to mean very much or not. Okay, so that's what we're paying attention to here right now. And then let's see, we got two others. I've been asked to talk about Caterpillar one more time. That had been really strong. Let's see if it's continuing to there's another reason why the Dow Jones is going wacko. This is the third hardest. We got Microsoft first. First one is Goldman Sachs. This is bigger than Microsoft right now. Look at the Caterpillar today. And with grains and everything going down, Caterpillar is screaming up. And there's another reason why they have the Dow going as strong as it is. Okay, so that's why we want to be watching it. Okay, all right, let's move on and see what Microsoft is doing, since that's the third highest price one in the group. And MSFT, there it is right there. See if it's above 528. Yeah, it's 514. So Caterpillar is more expensive. So there's your 61% retracement. There's the back off. It's up today, but not just barely. But the ones that are affecting it, of course, are the Caterpillar and Goldman Sachs. I mean, that's basically, what the Dow is running against. So that's what you got to do when you're watching these things, because if you don't, you're going to pay the price, and you don't want to pay the price if you can't. Let's get this back, get these back, so we can move this out of the way and go to the next one that we want to talk about. This is the background. Oh, did we hit that? Just a second here. Oh, that's the one I wanted to do later, but let's get up here. Here's our NASDAQ. This has been the leader of the pack here. All we've done so far today, even with all this other stuff, all it's been able to do so far is just go up and hang around this 78% level. That's all it's been able to do. Ordinarily, this thing would be up here, and it might be there by the end of the day, of course. But that's what it's happening to it right now. All righty, let's see how we're doing with the time. We've probably got a whole minute to go, 39 seconds. And we'll cover it when we get back. But we have one other one we want to watch, and that is NVIDIA. And it's been down on the day, but I think it's had a pretty good, well, it hasn't even rallied very much. There's NVIDIA today is still down. There was our top was up in here. So maybe the MAGA stocks have talked, but everybody's talking about AI. So you got to pay attention to what they're doing, folks, because if you don't, things will get a little rocky. We'll be right back to wrap it up. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, this is the S&P here. The 61% on this is 6726. We're 10 points away. That would also be an A, B, C, D pattern too, folks. So the NASDAQ is just basically at the 786. It hasn't moved, but this is a bigger market. So that would be the A, B, C, D pattern right there. And H.M. Gartley said, if you've got an A, B, C, D in a bear market, which so far this is where you'd want to be selling at 67.26 with a stop at 67.36. That's what you'd have to do. And I'll just draw this in so you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. There's your AB leg right there. There's your CD leg right there. And there's the order right there at 26. And then you put your stop right above there. That's what I would be doing. And that's what I will be doing if it happens. So anyway, that's what we're paying attention to right now. And we'll find out how it's going to work. We had one other question about Apple. So I'll bring the Apple chart up to see how it's been doing. Probably jumping up like everything else. And we'll get there. It is right here. and pop in and see what we're doing here. Well, Apple is basically down. It still made its high. Hasn't really done very much from that level, but we're going to be not worrying about that too much. Okay, there's what we're looking at right here. So I want to wish everybody, I still have a little time left, so I can still do Avco, Broadcom. This has been crazy. Of course, we had these big moves, and then, of course, it backed off yesterday after that $100 billion infusion from whoever it was. I don't know if it was, what's his name, the AI guy or not, but that was basically it. So it's backed off a little bit from that level. So that's what we're watching here. I got 42 seconds, so I can do one more, and I'll pull that one right up. And that happens to be, let's take a look here at Bitcoin. And we're going to see here, Bitcoin's under pressure, folks, under big time pressure. And if you look at that, I'll cover Bitcoin. That's a bad tick. I'll cover Bitcoin tomorrow when we do the show, because it's breaking down badly. Whether it has to do with risk control or not, that I don't know. But we're going to find out here relatively soon. Okay? So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.